We're wasting a little bit of screen space, but that's okay. All right, so here's the thing. I've made a D&D chat, and I haven't done anything. I had some thoughts in mind of what I was going to ask, but we're going to see how well on the fly Barely can run a game for us. And I have nothing at all prepped. So we'll see. This could be a horrible disaster. Could be fun here. Let me just kind of try to ping a couple people real quick. Um, where is the okay. Okay. I've got my adult beverage. Ah, I know, kind of messed it up a little bit this time. It's kind of a makeshift margarita, but I don't really use margarita mix. I put some melon liqueur and tequila and lime juice. Yeah, could be better, but it'll work. Okay. I'm going to ask it to generate 12 interesting. Uh, let's see. How are we going to say this? Generate 12 characters for. I don't even have characters, and I had no plan to make them. Generate 12 characters for 5th edition that include a variety of classes and races. Try to make them effective and use the standard point system. Try to make them effective and interesting using the standard point system. We're going to pick 4 of them. I'm going to say generate 12 ideas for characters for 5th edition. Um, you only need to come up for this. For this, you only need to come up with name, race, class, subclass, and a basic background. And a basic background. Um, a basic background and basic background and personality traits. Maybe a paragraph or 2. Name, race, class, subclass, and a basic background and personality traits, maybe a paragraph or 2. And a basic description. Here we go. And how that influences their personality traits, maybe a paragraph or 2. Generate 12 ideas for characters for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see what it does. Thalor Greenleaf, a Wood Elf Ranger. Oh, a Gloomstalker. That could be fun. I'm going to pick 4 of these. All right. We've got a Mountain Dwarf Paladin. Okay. Oath of the Ancients. He hails from the dense forest of Eldergrove, where the shadows loom as allies. His upbringing in the wilderness made him silent and secretive, preferring the company of nature to people. As a Gloomstalker, he thrives in darkness, both in combat and attitude, believing the shadows hold untold secrets. His personality reflects a deep respect for nature and an unyielding determination to protect it. I like that. I don't think we can read every single thing, so let's just kind of let's skip over too much detail and like try to pick some races and classes that might go well. Storm Sorcerer, that could be cool, and it's an Air Genasi. That fits. That's a sailor. We've got a Human Warlock Hexblade. um, so right off the bat, like I had a Gloomstalker who was really fun, so he's appealing to me. We got a Human Warlock. We have a Tiefling Bard, College of Whispers. That's interesting, and I'm not super familiar with Whispers. I remember a little bit about it, but Um, and then we've got a half elf wizard, abjuration. Now that could be handy because they're very they've got some nice defensive stuff as an abjuration wizard. I made one once and we barely got into it and he was fun. We got a half orc barbarian, path of the zealot. I had to add a zealot. And then we have a dark elf drow rogue. A rogue would be nice. We have a halfling cleric, trickery domain, also very interesting. Um, let's see, the wizard abjuration, cleric of the trickery domain. Those are not. I think they're medium armor though, so they're not heavy armor. That's okay. Dragonborn fighter, battle master, gladiator. That could be good. He's jumping. He's jumping out at me. We also, or the paladin too. The dwarf paladin. That could be cool. So we've got a dragonborn fighter, battle master, gladiator, a human druid, circle of the moon, a hermit. Okay, and then we've got. I feel like I should probably pick not everything male. Maybe would be a good. And then we've got gnome artificer. Oh, interesting. Artificer. I don't. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, I think I vaguely remember them. Uh, So let's pick some really basic. I think we would definitely want like at least one good fighter. So I'm thinking I'm kind of leaning toward the paladin, and I like this ranger. So we got a ranger and a paladin. Uh, that I think those two as like your basic combat could be good. And the ranger's a wood elf. That's cool. And then we've got the one thing that's going to be a little bit tedious about this is I'm going to try to get him to make sort of a character sheet for me that I can hurry and print out. But and then we've got I don't think I want to mess with the I think we're going to go with the Abjuration Wizard, the Dwarf Paladin. So we're going to go with Thalor. Okay, I'd like you to go. Um, I'm picking four of them for you to flesh out a bit more. I'd like you to generate basic character sheets and buy some useful equipment beyond their starting equipment with what starting money they have and pick skills and spells that will help us survive. Oh, and I think I want to make them level 5. Okay. Do this for Thalor, uh, Brynja. So we got Thalor, Brynja. Too bad we can't do more of these because I don't want it to get too crazy. I'm just gonna have 4 characters so it doesn't get too crazy. Aaron and let's grab let's the cleric and Fenwick, and it will help us survive an adventure. Okay. So he went dexterity heavy on the ranger. That makes sense, but he's not bad on strength. I noticed. It's going by a little too fast for me to grab everything, but now that I've done all that though, I think I need to. That's not bad now, but now I need him to level him up to 5th level. Let's see. Okay, now I'd like you to adjust them for having gained experience and experience, funds, and maybe even some magic items up to fifth level. Pick spells known and or prepared as uh, according to class. Treat them as if they were only playing Adventurers League approved games. Let's see how that goes. He's only doing good. I didn't specify, but he's only doing it for the 4 that I picked. That's good. He figured it figured it out and is doing all that. I think I can get these printed and to be used. Yeah, I'll just print this. All right, it did. I think it did pretty good. Let's see, because typically you would get some magic items in Adventurers League. I think up to 5th level. I wonder, did it give him any magic items? Cloak. Oh, he's got a cloak of protection. Okay, so that's the cleric. And then what equipment does he have? Chain shirt. Okay, well, kind of sounds shitty, but he could probably do better than that. But that's okay. Um, Pearl of Power. Okay. Healing potions. Wand of Magic Missiles. All right. All right. Fine. I'm gonna go with what he picks. Whatever it picks. I don't know if did I actually end up picking anything that was female? I can't remember. So Thalor probably is not. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. So let's see if we can print this. Okay. Now. Oh, excuse me. That's done. Now, the AI has all their information. I just have it for my own reference here. And maybe it'll be interesting if I get into any arguments with the AI about what I have. I'm curious too if it gave them any magic items that you can't get from an Adventurers League adventure, because like they're only certain items that drop in Adventurers League games, and I wonder if they got anything that you technically couldn't get. I wonder how strict it was. Is what I'm asking. By the way, I drank 2 tall glasses of sparkling water before, like not long before this, so there will probably be pee breaks. Okay, 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 excellent. Okay, I have picked these 4. I've picked these 4 to go on an adventure. You are no longer constrained to Adventurers League. You can come up. You can. I encourage you to come up with your own adventure for these 4 5th level characters that will be fitting for their party size and abilities. Um, Feel free to put in uh, any hooks. Well, assume the characters have already done any necessary traveling to be in the near vicinity of where the adventure starts, but I'll leave it up to you if they if they're um, if there is any pre-adventure um, sort of info gathering they need to do. How's that sound? Don't show me anything yet. I'm assigning you the role of Dungeon Master. Welcome to your new adventure, intrepid travelers. Here's the setup for an exciting journey suited to the skills and personalities of Thalor, Brynja, Aaron, and Fenwick, the Shadow of Gloomwood. All right, now hold on. Let's read their backgrounds real quick. So, all right, Fenwick is the. I'm going by limited light here. I can put light, but then I kind of wash out. I think it's okay. You guys don't need to see me that well, right? It's probably better that I can read these a little better. Okay. Yeah, it's a little harder to see me, but all right. So for instance, Fenwick Bramblefoot is the halfling cleric of the trickery domain. His background is entertainer. It says Fenwick grew up among a troop of adventurers and learned some unconventional skills along the way. His trickery magic complements his love of playful deception and performance. While he often appears carefree and humorous, his underlying motivation is to lift spirits and, when possible, bring joy to those around him. His charming demeanor helps him navigate most social situations, and his wit helps him outwit any trouble that comes his way. These these advancements ensure each character maintains their distinct personality while enhancing their capabilities for ongoing adventures. Okay, that's just a little extra something. And then we've got um, Brynja Ironfist, the Mountain Dwarf. She's a paladin, Oath of the Ancients, with a background as a soldier. And Brynja, she's she's got an 18 strength now, I notice. Brynja and a high charisma. Holy crap. Well, she's a paladin, that's right. That makes sense. High con and high charisma too. So Brynja was raised in a dwarf stronghold where military tradition was deeply embedded in her upbringing. Honor, duty, and protection of the realm are concepts she holds dear, and her commitment to the Oath of the Ancients reflects her desire to protect the natural balance. Brynja is stoic and steadfast, a figure of stability and strength who believes every being is worth defending. Her charismatic nature is balanced by her deep sense of duty and compassionate worldview. And then we've got uh, Aaron Spellshield. This is the half elf wizard. Oh, he's half elf. I think I missed that. That's cool. That's very cool. School of Abjuration, background is a sage. Kind of generic, but that it works. That's fine. It's got an 8 strength. I figured that. 18 intelligence. That's good. And a 14 charisma. Wow. All right. So um, Aaron hails from a multicultural enclave where knowledge about the arcane arts was emphasized. Growing up in this scholarly environment developed his keen intellect and passion for protective magic. His study of abjuration has instilled in him a strong sense of defense, not only for himself, but also for those he considers allies. Aaron is curious and insightful, often lost in thought, and deeply values loyalty and intelligence in others. And the last one is Thaler Greenleaf, the Wood Elf Ranger, a Gloomstalker. Background is an Outlander. That kind of fits. He's got Thaler grew up in the dense forest, learning um, learning the ways of the wilderness and mastering the art of stalking. He is deeply connected to nature, seeing himself as its protector. This connection has shaped him into a quiet and contemplative individual, often preferring the company of animals and the solace of the shadows over bustling cities and crowds. His personality is marked by his deep respect for the cycles of nature and a quiet, unyielding determination to protect it. All right, so let's get going. I think we're doing good here. He's got like a few healing potions. He's got a +1 longbow. Um, 2 short swords, leather armor. Just kind of seeing if there's anything interesting. I'll tell you the magic items they have. Then we've got a wand of magic missiles on the wizard, who also has a scroll of protection from energy. A couple of healing potions, a pearl of power. That's cool. I think that just lets him recover up to a 3rd level spell. And then we've got Brenda the Mountain Dwarf. She's got a +1 warhammer, shield, chainmail. That's cool. By 5th level, she should, well, maybe not have plate mail, actually. That's pretty expensive stuff in 5th edition. Um, and then we've got Fenwick, the cleric trickery domain, who has a cloak of protection, chain shirt, healing potions, couple healing potions, additional thieves tools. That's right, he's got some thieves. He's got some thief abilities as a cleric of trickery. So should be interesting. All right, so let's get into this adventure. We're good. We've got a good overview of these characters. We've got the Shadow of Gloomwood in the small but vibrant town of Green Glen, nestled between rolling hills and thick forests. An unsettling shadow has recently fallen. The townsfolk have been experiencing ill omens, livestock disappearing, whispers in the wind, and strange figures seen flitting through the night. The townspeople are worried and superstitions are running high. A local magistrate, Marlis Redfern, has put out an urgent call for brave souls to investigate this encroaching darkness. Stories tell of an ancient ruin deep within the Gloomwood Forest, which is rumored to hold secrets long forgotten. The Adventurers Guild in Green Glen, hearing of the growing anxiety among locals, has posted a significant reward for anyone who can uncover and quell the source of these disturbances. Okay, so gathering initial information. The town has a central hub of activity, the Grinning Griffin Tavern. Of course, there's a tavern, of course, where rumors flow as freely as ale. Here you can gather more information before setting out. Key pieces of information to uncover include local rumors, the whispers of an old evil returning. Oh, they're kind of just, it's kind of just feeding me some of the information that we're gathering. Some say the forest spirits are angered, while others speak of a hidden cult seeking to awaken something dormant. Notable locals for information. Old Man Carlin, a retired ranger known for his extensive knowledge of the Gloomwood and its hidden paths. Lady Elira, a local herbalist who has been collecting unusual herbs near the forest's edge. She may have noticed unusual activity or disturbances. Okay. Recent sightings. Fishermen. I just thought of something. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, they took cure wounds. I don't like that. I'll. That's not good. Should take healing word. We're gonna fix that. Blink is cool. Well, all right. Um, Recent sightings, fishermen claim to have seen eerie lights hovering above the forest canopy during the last full moon. Cattle mutilations have been reported on nearby farms. Magistrates offer. Magistrate Redfern promises not only a handsome reward, but also the favor of the town and support for future endeavors should they manage to root out the source of the disturbance. So your party's primary goal is to venture into the Gloomwood, investigate the strange occurrences, and find a way to stop whatever dark power may be rising. The initial hook is the investigation of these rumors and clues to unravel a potential cult, forest spirits, or perhaps something more sinister lurking in the shadows. As your characters gather information at the Grinning Griffin or consult townspeople, they'll have the opportunity to narrow down leads, acquire potential allies, stock up on provisions, and plan their approach into the mysterious and possibly treacherous Gloomwood Forest. This marks the beginning of your adventure. With the skills and backgrounds of Thaler, Brinja, Aaron, and Fenwick, your party stands ready to face the unknown and protect Green Glen from whatever shadows are stirring. Prepare to step into a tale of mystery, darkness, and ancient magic. Should I not change out the spell? I think it's okay. I'm not gonna go too nuts with it, but I'm just gonna say um okay, sure. So he's updating it. Full cool. All right. So we've got Thalor is going oh now it's going to scroll is going to approach old man Carlin and ask what he thinks, showing due respect for a fellow ranger who shares his passion for protecting nature. Okay. As he approaches Old Man Carlin, he finds him sitting near the hearth at the Grinning Griffin Tavern, nursing a tankard of ale. Carlin is an older ranger with a rugged appearance. His skin is weathered from years in the wilderness. His clothing is adorned with various emblems and trophies from the woods. His eyes, though weary, still carry the sharpness of an experienced scout. Thaler respectfully introduces himself as a fellow protector of nature and inquires about the disturbances in the Gloomwood. Old Man Carlin listens intently, clearly appreciating Thaler's shared respect for the forest and its secrets. He leans in, his voice low and serious. Ah, young Greenleaf, Carlin begins, acknowledging Thaler's kinship. There's been a great deal of tumult in the Gloomwood. I've roamed these parts longer than many have lived, and I'm telling ye, something's awry. He takes another sip from his tankard and continues. These shadows aren't just wild tales. I've seen strange movements, felt the air change, a coldness that creeps into one's very bones. Some say it's the spirits of the wood, angry for being disturbed. Others speak of darker forces, cultists perhaps drawn by some forgotten power. He pauses, his gaze firm on Thaler. There's an old path, kid, hidden beneath the bramble and roots. It's not on any map. It leads to the ruins folk whisper about. It's a place where darkness lingers like a shroud. If you're set on this path, you'll need more than just your bows and blades. You'll need wit, courage, and a good amount of luck. I think we've got a good lead for where to go. His warning lingers in the air, but he nods approvingly, senses Thaler's determination. I can draw you a rough map of where to find the path, Carlin offers, pulling out a scrap of parchment and beginning to sketch. Just promise you'll honor the forest, keep your wits about you. Thaler receives the map with gratitude, a clear but cautious respect growing between the two rangers. Thaler now has a valuable lead, a secret path into the Gloomwood that may reveal much about the ominous events befalling Green Glen. The next step will be to share his information with his companions, ensuring they are all prepared for what lies ahead. Thaler indeed shares this info and his map with the party. Okay, and then we'll have yeah, yeah. Oh, he's telling what everyone says. Okay, so then they resolve to use the path unmarked on any map as their guide to venture into the depths of Gloomwood. Armed with his knowledge and the collective determination, Farty feels both the weight and the thrill of the adventure ahead. Uh, if I attempt to cast a spell for which I have used up the remaining spell slots, or use equipment that has already been used up, or otherwise is not in my inventory anymore. I trust you will correct me. Absolutely. Okay. Uh, he's gonna let me know if I screw up. I'm counting on him to do he's a super smart, computer powered dungeon master. He's gonna catch me if I do anything. I'm curious. I'm pretty knowledgeable about the rules, but I'm also very rusty. Uh, I'm one of those obnoxious players who knows all the rules and will correct the dungeon master oftentimes. But I imagine this might be the one dungeon master that knows rules better than me. So I don't know if I'll get away with that this time. Usually I'll pull the book out and show them like, look at this. If you cannot see your opponent, you do not get an opportunity attack, for instance. Anyway, whatever. So we've got the other person is notable locals for information. A local herbalist has been collecting unusual herbs near the forest edge. Um, Fenwick Bramblefoot. Fenwick will approach the local herbalist, Lady Elira, hoping to appeal to her as a fellow healer. Sure, why not? Um, uh, oh dear, I don't have cantrips. He didn't figure out cantrips. Okay, I'll just have to write those down. Um, he will ask what she what she has witnessed. Okay, her quaint shop nestled near the edge of Green Glen, greeted by a fragrant, yeah, middle-aged woman with gentle eyes and a warm smile, tending to an array of medicinal plants. She welcomes him with a nod of acknowledgement, recognizing the shared affinity for healing they both possess. Fenwick introduces himself and expresses his concern for the recent disturbances in the area. Hold on, I want to ping someone else real quick. One second. Go here. There we go. One second. All right. Just wanted to ping someone real quick. Uh, okay. Let's shrink that. We got this going. Okay. So, she listens carefully and then begins to share her experiences. These past few weeks, I've noticed something unsettling. She seems worried. The very essence of the forest seems off. Some of the plants I usually gather are withering or not growing correctly. It's as if the forest is holding its breath. She gestures towards a bundle of herbs. There are these, pointing out a particular herb that is darker than usual. I found them near the forest edge. They're not supposed to look like this, not unless there's something amiss in the soil or energy there. I'm not witnessed anything firsthand, but I've heard tales from some of the younger gatherers about lights in the forest at night. Will-o-wisps? Will-o-wisps, maybe? Are we dealing with will? That sucks. That sucks. um, they hear whispers. Will-o-wisp would do that. They would imitate voices and try to lure you in to some traps or something. Um, her observations suggest a deep-rooted disturbance affecting not just the people, but the very heart of the natural surroundings. Fenwick might gain clues about the underlying magical environmental disruptions linked to the darker forces in the Gloomwood. Um, She offers him a few herbs should they wish to use them in their travels, a thoughtful gesture from one healer to another. Take these, handing over a small bundle. I don't know if they'll help in the forest, but they might be of some use. Armed with this new knowledge, can return to the group with fresh insights about the natural imbalances and eerie occurrences that are bubbling beneath the surface, ready to discuss their next step in discovering um, the mystery of the encroaching darkness. Fenwick, does Fenwick recognize the herbs? Feel free to roll for any relevant skill check. Okay. As an entertainer. Nature check. Okay. Um, oh, he's got +6 on that. Damn. Let's say he rolls an 11. Uh, okay. That's interesting. I was going to say just randomly determine it. I did say roll for it. He identifies them. Uh, Nightshade moonflowers, known for its dual nature, harmful in large quantities. They can be used in small doses to create a potion that bolsters resistance to certain magical environmental effects, particularly cold or necrotic energies. Okay, I don't recognize that from fifth edition, but hey, I'm loving this. He's getting kind of creative. Aligns with the disturbances that she mentioned and could potentially hint at the type of threats the party might face in the Gloomwood. Necrotic energies, cold or necrotic energies. Okay, he understands the darkened appearance of the herbs indicates an environmental imbalance, resonating with the area events. He can now relay this information to his companions, providing them with not only a possible defensive asset, but also a clue about the nature of the magical environmental threats they may encounter in their quest. Is it possible to make a potion using the make a potion that you described with the skills of anyone in the party to determine whether anyone can create a potion? Let's assess skills and backgrounds. Okay, I'll skip over that. I kind of get the gist of it. They all have various skills. It's likely Fenwick or Aaron could have the necessary skills to create a potion depending on their proficiency. Um, with herbalism or alchemical tools. If either possesses an herbalism kit or alchemist supplies and has proficiency, they could attempt to craft the potion. So just to identify supplies, alchemy size, proficiency check with the relevant skills. All right. Well, you know their skills. You know their skills. If they find the supplies. Certainly. Okay. Uh, yeah. Fenwick had some basic knowledge of herbalism through the medicine skill. Okay. Either that drink's gone. Holy crap. How'd that happen? Um, Conclusion. Aaron Thorne is the most likely candidate with the potential to craft the potion. Uh, um, how long will it take? Assuming they succeed. I don't want to delay too long and allow uh, crafting time, 2 to 3 hours. Okay, that's not bad. Okay. Uh, does anyone have the kits? Does anyone already have the supplies? I'm not going to look at all the sheets and check. Wow, it gets wordy. Um, okay. They will pool their funds. They will each contribute an equal amount to the funds needed to purchase the equipment. Um, and they're likely standard equipment. Okay. Conclusion. Aaron is likely to have alchemist supplies. Okay. Might already have an herbalist kit based on roles and backgrounds. Should be able to successfully craft the potion using nightshade moon flowers without needing to delay for additional resources. Okay. They will attempt. Feel free to generate any random numbers needed to simulate rolls going forward. Now and going forward. Okay, great. We're simulating it with a skill check. Uh, yeah, aided by Fenwick for herbal insight. Excellent. That's that. I would do that. I would say assist. This will involve an alchemy skill check. He makes his +3. He's got his intelligence modifier +4 on his wizard class. Really? Based on wizard class? Okay. Um, Outcome. He successfully crafts the potion. His knowledge of alchemy combined with the herbal insights allows him to carefully mix the nightshade moonflowers with the necessary ingredients, providing a potion that provides resistance to cold and necrotic energies. The potion is ready for use, offering the party. Okay. The wizard will carry the potion. Okay. Okay. You don't need to be that worried. Um okay, I've just noticed, I didn't just notice it, but I'll say that. I've just noticed the characters do not have cantrips displayed on their sheets unless I missed something. Can you please pick cantrips and let me know what they are for each character if appropriate for their class and level. Okay, here we go. Fenwick, the cleric, has, that's good. Sacred Flame. Thaumaturgy is kind of cool. Guidance. That's definitely guidance. Oh, heck yeah. So Fenwick has up here. Okay, so we've got Sacred Flame. We've got Thaumaturgy and Guidance. Excellent. Okay. And then we've got the Wizard, of course. Of course, they would have cantrips. And the Wizard has Mage Hand. That's handy. No beef there. Prestidigitation, also not a bad call. I might pick differently, honestly, but these are not bad. Ray of Frost. That's all he gets? 3? Wizards don't get as many cantrips as sorcerers. That's very possible. Okay, and then the Ranger has Druidcraft and Guidance. That's also fine. Um, okay, considering that the Cleric Okay, so he's going to get produce flame. That's nice. Okay, that's a little better for a ranger, I think. So we got produce flame. My cat wants it. He probably wants food, actually. I need to go feed the cat, but that's very quick. So the ranger would have had guidance, and and the paladin has light. Wait, what? They did not have access to cantrips. Okay, these. Oh, all right. She doesn't have access to cantrips. So he would have druidcraft. Druid. Samchai, get off the sheets. Mage. Samchai, get off of the. You are such an attention whore. Go over here for a second. I'm gonna feed you in a moment. Um, the paladin. We're not. She doesn't have cantrips. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Um, got that one. That one. Produce flame and what was it? Druidcraft. That's fine. I think we have a very permissive DM because right now we just made a potion in a few hours, which you would not normally be able to do in fifth edition. Whatever. You're the DM. The AI is the DM. So guys, give me just a moment. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna feed the cat. Otherwise, we're gonna have a lot of interruptions. So let me do that, and also pee, and I'll be right back. Come on, kids. All right, something I do want to tell the game. Hold on a second. Back to the scene. There we go. Okay. Okay. Um, you will be role playing all NPCs, and you have permission to use curse words in these role plays. Got it. Okay. With their unique personalities and attitudes, which might include using strong language when it fits a character situation, I aim to engage you in the narrative authentically and provide an immersive experience. This is lovely. I gotta say, guys, I gotta say, I am already like, this is going way better than I expected. I kind of expected more disaster by now. The fact that it forgot to put cantrips, not that big a deal really, and it fixed it quickly. So, all right, it says if there's a specific tone or style you'd like for certain NPCs, feel free to let me know. Let's dive into the adventure with all its colorful characters and dynamics. Oh no, I will not be telling you how to change NPCs. You are the DM. You are in charge. You should feel free to correct me if I uh, attempt to do something my characters cannot do because they lack the skills, abilities, equipment, etc. It's completely understandable. Of eidetic memory, is that the word? Since you are running on a computer. How do you spell eidetic? It's not going to let me spell correct it. That's weird. What's the word? I can't spell it right. Eidetic. Okay, I'm one letter off. Absolutely. I'll take full responsibility as a dungeon master to keep the world coherent and maintain the rules and logic of the game. I'll ensure that I stay on top of the details, guiding your adventure and offering a realistic and engaging experience. I'll also keep track of your character's abilities and limitations, letting you know when something might not be possible based on their skills or equipment. If there's any clarification needed or questions about what actions are available, feel free to ask, and I'll provide the necessary guidance. Let's embark on exciting. That's what I want. I want to be able to just ask you. Okay, excellent. Excellent. The characters will confer to determine which would be best skilled for looking for traps. Okay, considering them all. Thalor the Ranger, that makes sense. Although I was considering the cleric as well, since he's a sort of a semi-rogue as a trickster cleric. Lend itself to noting unnatural disturbances and hidden dangers in the environment. His skills include proficiency in perception or investigation. He would have an advantage in this area. Let me know if you'd like to proceed with Thaler taking the lead on trap detection, or if the party would like to approach the task in a different way. Thaler will indeed lead the party. Uh, um, go ahead a bit. In darkness, since he can see in darkness and is invisible in darkness. In addition, the cleric, will be using her using his ability to convey advantage on stealth checks to the ranger. His ability as a trickster cleric. But does anyone not have dark vision? They all have dark vision, I believe. No, wait, do we have a human? No, halfling. The halfling does not have dark vision. Oh, he's rolling. That's what I told him to do. Excellent. So he got 15 as the higher roll. Um, Nearly silent in his movements. Thaler will look out for traps, assuming proficiency in perception due to ranger skills. Okay, +4. He gets a 17. Okay. If in your presence, he can disarm them or safely guide the party around them. They can now proceed carefully. Let me know if you'd like to explore further or take any further actions. We will now follow the map uh, provided by the ranger in town. Okay. The air grows cooler, canopy above thickens, casting everything in a dim, eerie light. Thaler leads the way confidently, using the map's landmarks to guide the group. Here's what unfolds during your journey. Okay, so the map outlines several key landmarks, including a twisted oak, a stone outcrop resembling a crouching bear, and a stream cutting through the forest. Thaler uses these to steer the party safely, familiar with such environments, and etc. Okay, with his scouting their abilities, they're poised to detect potential threats ahead of time, whether they be traps, creatures, or environmental hazards. He maintains readiness uh, to assist with divine guidance or protective measures if needed. Um, okay. Uh, Brinja and Aaron keep their weapons and spells prepared for any encounters. The map may include additional notes from the town ranger regarding common wildlife, unusual occurrences, or areas of spiritual significance. These could offer advantages anticipating dangers among the forest inhabitants. Scene development. As you delve deeper, the forest sounds shift subtly, not subtly. um, Thalor, with his acute sense of the land, may identify sounds indicating nearby creatures or the whisper of a concealed hazard amidst the thicket. The map ultimately leads toward a destination of interest, a potential location pivotal to uncovering the mysteries you've embarked to solve. Would you like to explore further into the forest, inspect any noted landmarks, or take a moment to adjust your strategy? Each choice holds new opportunities and challenges for your adventure. This is excellent. Okay, so it occurs to me everyone can see in the dark except the cleric because he is a halfling without dark vision. I assume he comes prepared with torches, lanterns, or other method of generating light. Correct? Yes. To assume that he would come prepared with the means to see in darkness. Well, he doesn't have the light cantrip. Why is he saying that? Well, well, what? You picked his cantrips, and they did not include light. So I will assume he has torch. He is using a torch. He will um he will by pushing the torch through this, ensure the torch doesn't go out if he drops it. Okay. Leaves other free for a shield or any necessary spell attacks the opponent. Fenwick will drop his shield and the torch, knowing he can drop the torch to cast or wield a weapon if needed, and the area will remain lit. There we go. Okay. The ranger is staying enough ahead to remain outside the light radius. So he will remain invisible. Okay. Excellent. So he's scouting ahead, and oh, hey, baby. I've got cat aggro. She wants attention. Um, okay, the light flickers against the towering trees and thick undergrowth. Guided by Thaler's observation, the maps guide as they navigate deeper into the gloomwood, sensing the forest depth and secrets all around. If Thaler encounters anything of interest or concern, his report will be crucial. Let me know if there's an action you'd like Thaler to take to, or specific information the party seeks to uncover as they advance. Okay, as I said, he they they uh, um, they will move cautiously uh, 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 to remain as stealthy as reasonably possible. Especially Thalor. That's the ranger. Yeah, especially Thalor, who will be extra alert for traps or other concerning terrain features. If he sees something, he will quickly move back into the light, which the party will interpret as a signal to be alert for danger, and will inform them. Okay. They're minimizing noise and disturbance, remaining prepared for any surprises. Thaler's keen senses and extensive experience as a ranger make him highly adept at identifying potential dangers, be they traps, hazards, or lurking creatures. His vigilance. As he moves ahead, he focuses on slight irregularities in the terrain, such as disturbed earth, unusual patterns in foliage, or the telltale signs of hidden snares. His acute perception allows him to detect these potential threats before the group reaches them. Silent communication. Upon spotting something, Thaler quickly and quietly retreats to the edge of Fenwick's torchlight. This signal prompts the party to halt and ready themselves for potential danger. The group's readiness is heightened with weapons drawn or spells prepared, ensuring that they are not caught unawares. Scene development. As they proceed, the atmosphere in Gloomwood remains tranquil yet tense. The natural sounds of the forest, rustling leaves, distant calls of forest creatures serve as both a comforting constant and a reminder of the unseen. During one such cautious advance, Thaler notices a suspiciously loosened patch of earth, indicative of a concealed pit trap or some similar danger. He quickly moves back into the light radius, quietly alerting the party. Next step, disarm, bypass the trap. They can decide to use their collective skills to disarm the trap or carefully navigate around it. Investigate the area, determine if it's recent or if there might be a pattern indicating more traps nearby. Strategize further actions. Let me know how you'd like to proceed if there's anything specific the party intends to do. Um, Thalor will hold up his hand, his hand in a stop motion and investigate the trap and immediate area a little more closely. I should say possible trap. Okay. Um, let's see what he figures out. Using a stick or his bow, he gently prods the earth to assess its stability or hollow sounds. He listens closely for unusual sounds like creaking mechanisms or slight shifts in the soil that could indicate a trap. He checks for related traps. He looks around for additional signs like ropes, wires, or other mechanisms that might be associated. He confirms the patch of earth conceals a pit trap cleverly disguised with foliage and loose soil. There appear to be no additional mechanisms. With this information, he can attempt to disarm the trap and guide the party safely around it, minimizing risks as they continue their journey. Um, Thalor will very quietly will whisper to the party and about the pit trap and guide guide them carefully around it. I don't whoever set the trap, whoever set it, I don't want them to be alerted to our presence from having manipulated the trap in any way. Okay. Okay. He goes around it, no other dangers nearby, and then he leaves them in single file, sure. As they move around, the party remains vigilant for signs of additional traps or expected or unexpected threats. They still have illumination. Okay, the forest remains still, with the only natural sounds of the gloomwood surrounding the adventurers. The group successfully navigates past the pit trap, avoiding disturbance and remaining undetected. With danger averted and the way ahead clear, you can continue following the map's path or explore other interesting features. Let me know your choice or any actions you'd like to undertake. We will continue to follow the map, uh, remaining vigilant for dangers. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, remaining vigilant for dangers. Okay, led by Thaler, they continue the cautious journey through the Gloomwood. Keeping a keen eye out for potential dangers, they follow the map. Um, okay, they enhance vigilance. They maintain their alertness, scouting ahead for further traps, unnatural disturbances, or threats lurking in the shadows. It occurs to me I didn't mention if we're going in daytime or night. It seems to be that these things are happening at night, so I guess we went at night. I guess. Okay. Clearly, well, I don't know. I'm not sure that the AI seems to be going off of my cues. So when I mention a light source, maybe it's like, oh, it's nighttime, or I don't know. It's not going to think of these things until I mention them. I feel like. So I think I've basically said we're traveling at night. But that's good for the gloom for a gloom stalker. Um, so as we travel, the landmarks guide our way, transitioning from dense thickets to more open forest glades. These serve as quiet pockets where the party can briefly pause to reassess their surroundings. Okay. We drift through underbrush and over tree roots, moving with a steady pace while staying quiet. Each member is fully aware of their role should any danger arise, with Thaler guiding the way and Brinja and Aaron poised for rapid defense. It's doing a lot of it's it's ascribing a lot of things that I don't think normally a DM would ascribe to players, but whatever. Okay, so continuing along the path, you sense the subtle changes in the forest atmosphere, feeling closer to the map's indicated destination, whether it's a long sought relic, a hidden lair, or an unknown mystery. Anticipation builds as you advance. Would you like to investigate any particular features along the way, adjust strategies, or proceed toward a specific area highlighted on the map? Your next decision will guide the adventure further. Um, okay. Um, Thalor will investigate any landmarks specifically indicated on the map as we progress. Otherwise, we are simply keeping an eye out for any um, anything described by villagers regarding the strange events, the strange occurrences. Okay. He investigates these points of interest. They may hold clues or insights. Here's how things unfold. The old willow. He spots a large gnarled willow tree matching an annotation on the map. He investigates and notices markings etched into the bark that resemble symbols or runes. These could be part of strange happenings or a form of communication among forest citizens. A stone circle. Further along, the map indicates a small circle of standing stones, partially hidden by foliage, for any unusual pattern which might suggest recent activity or ritualistic use. Stream crossing. Approaching a battle brook, your map notes this area as a crossing point. He checks for chimes. Okay. Well, we can only arrive at one at a time, at one landmark at a time, I'm assuming. So I will assume we are first at the old willow. Thalar will ask the wizard to investigate the runes. So he uses his arcane knowledge. So Aaron uses arcane knowledge to assess whether these runes have any enchantments or are part of a spell. Trying upon he tries to identify the symbols correlate with any known cultural or historical references, particularly those might align with local folklore or previous strange events. Detect magic. He's equipped with a spell such as detect magic. Well, why is he saying if? He knows. Does he have detect magic? No. He has identify. Um, he observes the runes. He notes any changes in the ambient magic or presence of enchantments. Depending on what he discovers, his findings can help determine the rune's purpose or origin. Uh, um, Aaron will use does if Aaron well, he's got stealth, survival, athletics. That's the wrong one. Aaron has arcana, history, investigation, insight, and spells. Um, Aaron will first attempt his skills of history and then arcana, or no, actually of arcana to determine if there is any magical meaning behind the runes. Okay, his findings. Delves into the analysis. He discovers the runes indeed have a faint magical aura, suggesting they are part of a protective ward. This ward seems to serve as a deterrent or warning, possibly set up to either protect or conceal an area or object within the forest. The runes aren't particularly powerful, but their presence indicates a level of magical involvement related to the strange occurrences in the Gloomwood. Uh, Aaron will then use his history knowledge if the roll is successful to determine if there is any historical meaning to the runes. Having identified the magical properties of the runes, now turns to his history knowledge. I can't tell if he rolled for the magic, so for the arcana. He should have, but he didn't say anything. Uh, He's considering regional folklore. He assesses how old they might be, and then his findings are the runes bear a resemblance to markings used by ancient druidic order once believed to inhabit the Gloomwood. They were known for their deep connection to nature and often used runes to protect sacred sites or to ward off intruders from sensitive areas. This suggests the area of the willow itself might have once been of significant importance to these druids. It also aligns with some local legends about mysterious protections of the forest, which the villagers might have indirectly referenced in their descriptions of strange occurrences. Okay. Um, Thalor, armed with this knowledge, will attempt to determine how long ago these were carved into the tree. There should be signs of aging. There should be signs if they were carved long ago. With his knowledge of, okay, all right. It says the tree bark will grow around and potentially cover carving smooth, distorting their original shapes. Okay, it's a more recent carving. Lichen and moss. Lichen and moss are the plant growth around the carved runes. Findings. The runes are relatively old, likely carved decades ago. Decades ago. All right. Implications. The enduring nature of these runes supports the idea they are part of a long-standing protective measure, possibly maintained over generations. Priority for preservation. I'm a little drunk. For preservation. Understanding the rune's age. Oh my God. Don't try to read too fast. Understanding their age might suggest respect for the site and caution for any interaction as they're entwined with the narrative. Potential guidance. This information can aid the party in deciphering the relationship between these ancient remnants and the ongoing strange occurrences. Would the party like to adjust their strategy based on these insights? Um, Thaler will note. Curious. All right, he may not know about it because they're secluded. He may have specifically omitted it. Interesting. May have assumed that experienced parties like Thalers would recognize the runes, typical land statement in areas with a druidic past. Um, okay. Has any have we received any indication of a sense of urgency? By that I mean have there been have there been any reportings of people of any reportings of people being injured or killed with regard to these strange sightings? That will affect our choices. Um, Unusual lights and sounds, sense of unease, more mysterious than directly threatening. No direct harm. Okay, implications of the party. Okay, the wizard will will copy the runes so that we may return to the village and get some guidance about what they mean. Okay. Yeah, they're magical, faintly. Going to go back to seek guidance on this. Potential visit to elders may have historical records or oral traditions. Okay. Expanding the inquiry to include local spellcasters or historians might also yield valuable information. Okay. Uh, um, Party will first approach the elder ranger who drew the map regarding the runes and show the, the sketch. Also, conveying they they were faintly magical. Okay. They go back. Upon arrival, they find him at his familiar post near the village entrance. Aaron carefully presents the sketch of the runes to the elder ranger. The Thaler explains their discovery at the Old Willow, emphasizing the faint magical aura surrounding the runes. The party asks the elder ranger who recognizes the runes if they are linked to any known historical and magical context within the Gloomwood. He examines them carefully. He reveals that the runes do look familiar, symbols used by a druidic sect that was once known to dwell within the forest. Their exact purpose remains less clear to him because they are rarely encountered this intact in recent times. While he wasn't aware of this particular set of runes, the knowledge aligns with legends of the druids using such symbols to designate sacred spaces or use or to protect areas from outsiders. I really want to get to a combat. Does anyone else like really want you want to fight? I want to see how the AI handles a fight. Like how well does it keep up with locations of enemies? Can I want to try and encourage it to kind of map out the scene uh, map out the scene ahead of time and keep up with where stuff is. I wonder how well it can manage that. I'm a little skeptical, to say the least. But anyway, this is interesting. We'll see how this goes. Um, he acknowledges the magical aspects, suggesting the ongoing protective aura indicates these ruins are part of a more significant network within the forest, perhaps linked to other unusual events. Continue the investigation with others in the village who have deeper understanding of the druidical magical local lore. He says visiting a nearby wise woman known for her expertise in ancient symbols and forest magic. Would you like the party to follow his advice? Yes, we will visit this wise woman. I misspelled that. I figured it out. Okay, we visit her. Um, it's situated at the edge of the village, surrounded by a garden of herbs and plants. Some are rare and imbued with magical properties. Okay, we introduce ourselves. Aaron approaches the sketch of the runes, describing their discovery in the Gloomwood and the magical characteristics they observed. The wise woman examines the sketch carefully and offers these insights. She confirms the runes are indeed of druidic origin, likely tied to an ancient sect whose practices involve protecting and sealing areas within the forest deemed sacred or significant, but also serve to safeguard balance within the nature of natural magic. Such protections were typically renewed periodically to maintain their potency. Interesting. Given the faint but persistent magical aura, she speculates the strange occurrences might be a sign of disruption in this ancient protective network, perhaps triggered by natural or external forces attempting to breach or manipulate the forest's hidden magic. So, suggests considering ways to reinforce the rune's protective magic to stabilize the forest balance, or if necessary, safely neutralize any disruption without harming the forest's natural order. See, advises seeking out additional runes or druidic marks, which might form part of a protective grid, offering clues to the mystery. Okay. Um. Well, we are. we are not prepared to reinforce the magic. So we will focus on seeking out what might be disrupting it. Okay. Okay. Map revision and planning, noting locations of potential interest, similar ones might be found. Seek patterns or connections between landmarks. Analyze the environment for any disturbances, changes in flora and fauna behaviors, or unusual elements. Um, seek additional clues, investigate the possibility of external influences, such as recent logging activities, encroachment by outsiders, or unusual weather patterns. Oh my God. Can we fight something? Can we fight something? I, okay. Um, okay. This time we will, we will continue our investigation during the daytime to take advantage of natural light to find any strange anomalies, I guess. Yeah. Okay, use clear visibility to thoroughly scan the surroundings. Okay, the party will split up to ask various locals what they have seen and where, and make note of that. We will then meet back up to share what we have learned. Okay, so as party completes their individual inquiries, they will reconvene at a predetermined location, perhaps the inner quiet spot in the village, to compare notes and share what they have learned. This collective knowledge will help form a clearer picture of the situation to guide the next steps. Okay, consolidate observations. Piece together individual findings can highlight commonalities or new areas of interest. Yeah, let me know how you'd like to move forward with planning the exploration if there's a specific area. Just convey uh, what we have managed to what info we have managed to gather from various locals, please. Okay, we can get back together. Several travelers mentioned strange lights. Wildlife behavior, hunters noting animals acting erratically, avoiding certain parts of the forest. They were typically frequent, gradual but distinct changes in certain plant areas. Conversations with legendary ties. Village elder recounted legends of an ancient forest spirit tied to the druidic sect, uh, suggesting disturbances might awaken or disrupt this entity. Interesting. Historical patterns. Farmers observed that crop growth near the forest boundary had been more unpredictable in recent seasons. This stuff is like really vague. Okay. Specific hotspots. A consensus that the southern edge of the forest has been particularly active with frequent sightings and oddities. Increased activity. Multiple sources point to increased activity near a specific old oak tree known locally for its size and age, suggesting it might be significant. Okay. We, uh, where is the tree with respect to where is the large oak tree with respect to the southern, dang it, southern edge of the forest where uh, where where act activity was noted. Okay. Near the southern edge. Okay. Okay. Proximity to the edge. It's close to the edge. The proximity aligns with the reports of heightened sightings and oddities. Okay. It's a significant marker due to its age and size. Um, we will investigate the this tree early in the morning. Early the next morning, as soon as there is sufficient light. There we go. All right. We go there, maximize daylight, ensure all necessary supplies are ready, including maps, note-taking materials, and magical tools Aaron might use to sense or analyze magical properties. Rest well, yes. Familiarize with the map, route to the oak tree, yes. Examine the tree. He gets so wordy. Oh my God, this thing gets so wordy. That's okay. Um, we carefully inspect it for visible runes, unusual features, or signs of magical influence. Observe changes in the surrounding flora and fauna, noting any anomalies. Look for other markers or artifacts around the tree. With Dawn's light guiding them, the party can leverage these preparations to thoroughly investigate. Feel free to let me know if you need specific kind of support once on this. Nope, no. Let's get to it and see what we find. Okay. this this thing writes like Stephen King. Get to the point. Okay. We set out toward the southern edge to investigate the tree. I was going to notice. That's curious. Okay. Provides the perfect lighting with the sun casting long shadows and highlighting details that might otherwise go unnoticed. Okay. We inspect the tree. That's its grandeur and ancient aura become apparent. It's tall and wide, bark thick with age, adorned with moss and lichen. Aaron and Thalor began a close examination of the tree trunk, looking for carvings or runes that might have inscribed long ago. They discover faint, intricate druidic runes etched into the bark. These runes are similar to those found in the willow, but appear more complex and deeply engraved. The area is unusually quiet, sparse animal sounds. The floor is lush and dense, um, indicative of a place enriched by natural and magical forces. A closer look at the plants reveals a mix of common and rare species, with some showing subtle signs of magical influence, a gentle luminescence, or unusual growth patterns. This stuff is so vague. Oh my God. Okay. Um, Aaron uses a simple detection spell. Really? To sense magical. What the spec? What? Hold on. Aaron has mage armor, shield, identify, magic missile, counter spell, fireball, fly, dispel magic, and that's it. Uh, identify is the only thing he might have. Steady pulse of magic emanating from the tree, suggesting potential tampering or weakening. Thalor searches the ground for tracks or signs of recent activity. He finds the tracks of several small animals, but notices boot prints that seem more recent, indicate someone or something on two legs might have visited the area recently. Something we might have to fight. We gotta go fight this bitch. This bitch is walking around messing with the forest. Okay. The complexity of the runes suggests the oak might be a central node in the druidic protection network. A natural quietness and tracks. Quietness around the tree and recent human-like tracks raise suspicions about interference or tampering. Potential for disruption, slight imbalance in the magical aura suggests either a weakening of the protection or external influence attempting to alter its effect. Party now faces. Okay, all right. We must follow those tracks. There we go. Okay. So His experience as a ranger takes the lead in tracking the boot prints. They're fresh, made within the last few days. They move purposely away from the oak, suggesting intentional presence rather than accidental wandering. They lead deeper into the forest, but also loop around to avoid certain denser areas. The individual might be familiar with the forest layout, possibly avoiding specific magical markers or animals. They follow the tracks, passing through several glades and thickets, observing signs that travel and move with some haste, occasionally doubling back or modifying their path, potentially indicating caution or an attempt to cover their trail. Near a particularly dense thicket, they find evidence of a small camp, the remains of a fire, and some scraps of cloth and food packaging. Food packaging. Okay. Yeah, I guess like iron rations and things like that would be wrapped in burlap or cloth or something. My head goes to plastic packaging as a, but yeah, not that. Okay. But point is, there was a camp and there's some recent activity. Implications of the pursuit. All right. Individuals' path and efforts to obscure their trail imply a level of intent, perhaps awareness of their actions being noticed. The temporary campsite hints at an outsider or someone not intending to stay in one place for long, perhaps indicating a mission or objective related to the oak or the forest protections. Could prepare for a potential encounter. Absolutely. To see the lead, investigate the discovered cancer for more clues, decide on a strategic approach for engaging if they catch up with a mystery visitor. How would you like to proceed? Second drink gone. That's okay. We are 2 hours in. I would love to get to a combat before we end this stream. It's a long stream at this point, but um, all right. Thalor will continue to scout a bit ahead, given he is a bit more stealthy and alert as a ranger than the rest of the party, but will have a specific hand signal to alert the party to be ready for an attack, for a possible attack. Okay, there we go. He's taking the lead. Party falls into a cautious and stealthy formation, moving quietly through the forest. They come into play as he scouts ahead, staying about 60 feet in front of the group, enabling him to spot potential threats and signal the party discreetly. Fowler moves silently, his keen senses attuned to changes in the environment, rustling that might indicate nearby creatures or anomalies in the underbrush to signal recent passage. Okay, and then they coordinate a simple hand signal to indicate different actions. Raised fist might be hold, two fingers pointed forward could signal advance cautiously. Oh wow, he's giving me he's basically he's being a lot kinder than most DMs would be. He's like, "Oh, you're also doing this, by the way." Like, okay. Okay. He's giving credit to Thalor to have to know to maybe prepare a couple of hand signals. I only said like let's have a hand signal for danger, but he's like, "No, Thalor's got some other hand signals for these other things you might want to watch out for." All right, that's great. That's great. He's being a very kind DM, I think. The rest of the party, I say he, it, whatever. The rest of the party follows at a measured, cautious pace. Hold on a second, I want to check something. Somehow I'm picturing the dwarf as a female, but I don't. Is that correct? Brinja. It's a her. Okay, so the dwarf paladin is actually a girl. That's a woman. Okay. Cure wounds, protection from evil and good, less restoration, aid, equip, and less restoration and aid. Okay, cool. Okay. The forest alternates between dense thickets and more open clearings, offering both cover and challenging visibility. This variability requires constant adjustment in pace and awareness. Occasionally, Thaler spots signs consistent with someone having passed through recently: broken twigs, compressed grass, or subtle disturbances in soil. All right, as they progress, they must stay ready for any eventuality. Thaler scouting provides with a tactical knowledge, ensuring they are less likely to be taken by surprise. How would you like to proceed if Thaler spots something unusual or potentially dangerous? Thaler will have a hand signal to to indicate um, height to heighten readiness in case of signs of imminent encounters. There we go. Okay, he's got an agreed upon hand signal to heighten readiness. He continues, scouting ahead of the party. As he advances, he meticulously observes the terrain, aware of changing sounds or fleeting shadows that might indicate the presence of another being. Um, blah, blah, blah. They embark. The party remains back, but within visible range. The silent that senses a need for the party to heighten their readiness. Okay, so he's seeing something. He silently communicates to adjust their posture, grip their weapons more firmly, and focus their awareness on immediate surroundings. The rest of the party continues to move as stealthily as possible, maintain discipline as to avoid excess noise. They remain prepared to act based on Thaler's guidance. It's based effectively to respond quickly if needed. Okay, the path winds deeper into the forest, presenting potential intersections that could be either traps, ambush points, or simply part of the mystery traveler's intended route. The air is tense with anticipation as the party proceeds. Should Thaler signal an imminent encounter, the party will be ready, whether for a diplomatic engagement or defensive maneuver. If they reach such a point, what specific approach would you like to ensure they follow? Well, okay, that's a good point. So Thaler has a +1 longbow. Um, Thaler, if imminent danger, if imminent danger is sensed, I can't spell. Hold on, imminent. Oh my God, it doesn't correct my spelling. Imminent danger is sensed. Thalor will ready his bow, his +1 bow after signaling party. And then Aaron will prepare his wand of magic missiles to fight. Will prepare will prepare his wand of magic missiles, and then Fenwick to cast blink. Sure. Brynja Iron Fist. Brynja will catch up with Thalor, ready to engage in melee with her +1 warhammer. There we go. That sounds good. They meticulously prepare for unforeseen dangers that may arise as they follow the tracks. They ready their prospective skills and weapons. Okay, upon sensing imminent danger, Thaler uses the designated hand signal to alert the party. Yeah, my words are slurring. I'm sorry, folks. I've had 2 strong drinks. No, actually, the first drink was strong. The second one was normal. But anyway, um, he readies his +1 bow. So something's going on. He hasn't told us what. It hasn't told us what. Aaron grips his wand of magic missiles, prepared to unleash a swift and effective barrage. Um, Fenwick's arcane defense readies his mind to cast Blink, a spell offering evasiveness and unpredictable movement. This preparation readies him to evade attacks by shifting briefly into an ethereal plane if the need arises. Brenda, with her +1 ready at the ready, moves to catch up with Thalar. Her position places her in the best stance to engage any foes in close combat. Okay. Tactical advantage. The party's variety of skills and readiness positions to handle different forms of threats, whether physical, magical, or a combination thereof. Each member remains aware of their role in the potential skirmish, ensuring a balanced distribution of offensive and defensive capabilities. As they venture further, an unseen tension hangs in the air. They are ready for whatever lies ahead. So you imply that Thalor has sensed an impending threat. Is this correct? My apologies for the confusion. There is no specific indication he sensed an impending threat. Okay, readiness plan. If you'd like to proceed with... Okay. Okay. I understand. I would encourage you to keep a basic outline of the positions of any threats, of any enemies, and the party members to determine to manage any melee encounters as we proceed. Certainly. I'll keep a mental outline of positions for the party and potential adversaries, facilitating strategic actions should they occur. Okay. About 6 feet ahead of the party, scouting with keen awareness, ready to use his bow. Roll, detect threats, provide range support. Okay. Aaron, within the party group, but behind the front line. Prepared to use his wand of magic missiles. Um, uh, Reminder, Aaron, as an abjuration wizard, I believe has a protective shield that absorbs a certain amount of damage. I don't recall the details, but I assume you are aware. Yes, he has benefits for his school. Abjuration protection creates an arcane ward. Uh, Aaron will go ahead and cast Mage Armor, realizing this lasts 8 hours, I believe. It will also generate a ward. He casts Mage Armor, enhancing his defenses to bolster his magical shield. Provides long-lasting protection, sets Aaron's base AC to 13 plus his dexterity modifier, enhances his ability to avoid attacks. Ward recharge by casting Mage Armor activates his Arcane Ward. Ward points regained contributes to recharging the ward's hit points, adding twice the spell's level to its total. Mage Armor's first level adds 2 hit points to the ward's capacity. Okay. 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 We are prepared for a possible for we are prepared for an encounter and expecting one soon, considering we have followed footsteps, tracks that seem recent. Carry on. Okay, as we continue along the trail, remaining alert and prepared for any impending encounter, they move with a heightened sense of awareness through the forest. Suggest the person or entity is not too far ahead. Yes, let's get to this. If we can do one encounter, I think we can wrap up the stream. All right. So he scouts it. Thaler scouts ahead. Thaler continues to lead the way, using his ranger skills to track quietly and efficiently, signaling any sign of movement or unusual disturbances in the terrain. Focuses on remaining silent and unseen, trying to maintain an element of surprise. Aaron, Fenwick, and Brynja remain poised for action. Aaron's mage armor provides him assurance, while Fenwick keeps Blink ready for immediate use. Brynja is close behind Thalar, ready to close any gap for melee engagement. Excellent. Forest grows denser as they proceed, shafts of morning sunlight breaking through the canopy, providing a mix of shadow and light that could be used for cover in case of an encounter. As Thaler inches forward, he catches sight of a small clearing up ahead. The tracks lead directly into it, and through the foliage he notices movement, a figure adjusting a pack against the base of a large tree. The figure appears to be human, wearing a dark cloak. They seem preoccupied and have not noticed the party's approach. With the figure in sight, the party faces a choice. They can choose to engage diplomatically, attempt to approach and communicate with the individual to discern their purpose without immediate aggression, prepare for combat, ready themselves for a possible hostile encounter using the element of surprise to their advantage. Observe further. Stay hidden and observe the individual's actions more closely before making a decision. Okay. Um, we will assume hostility and thus attempt to attempt to attack with the element of surprise. However, all melee attacks will be done with the intent to subdue rather than kill, which is an option. Um, Aaron the wizard, what can he do that won't kill something? Wow. Um, Anything ranged is potentially deadly. So Fenwick, the cleric, what has he got for? He's got a mace, just a regular mace, and then we've got protection from evil or good, lesser restoration aid. That's the paladin. Okay, Brynja, Brynja, Brynja will cast aid on herself. While still at a distance so as not to alert the human, the stranger. Sure, that sounds great. Um, the Thalor will charge in with both short swords. He has that, right? Yeah, two short swords. Using, hoping to benefit from his extra attack, I believe, as a gloom stalker when he uh, in the first round. Brynja will also charge in Aaron will uh, Aaron will cast Ray of Frost unless the stranger has already dropped unconscious when his turn arrives. Fenwick will cast Mirror Image first and then charge in. Reminder that all melee is attacking to subdue to avoid killing if not absolutely necessary. There we go. Let's see what happens. All right. Party springs into action, aiming to take advantage of the element of surprise and neutralize the potential threat without lethality. They prioritize subduing the eventual swiftly and effectively. Bridget's preparation. Before moving in, Bridget quietly casts Aid, boosting her own hit points and optionally two other party members. Okay. I didn't realize she could get two other party members. That's really cool. Thaler uses his Gloomstalker ability in the first round of combat, allowing him to an additional attack and extra movement when surprising enemies. He charges in with both short swords ready, aiming to land swift, non-lethal blows that incapacitate rather than kill, using precision strikes to maintain control of the situation. Brinja's engagement, close behind Brinja, joins the fray. Her warhammer, aimed to subdue her, focuses on ensuring the stranger cannot retaliate, using well-placed attacks to disarm or incapacitate. Disarm? That's the thing she can do? Okay. Whatever. All right. Aaron's magical offense. Aaron, maintaining his distance for safety, casts Ray of Frost if necessary, aiming to reduce the target's ability to escape by slowing their movements. That's a good reminder that Ray of Frost slows their movement by 10 feet. If the target is already subdued, he refrains from casting. I don't want to kill him. Fenwick casts a mirror image before entering the melee, creating duplicate images of himself, enhancing his defenses. He charges in with the others ready to assist. Thaler's quick assault, enhanced by the extra attack and superior positioning, aims to destabilize the target immediately. Coordinated subdual. The combined might of Brinja's melee expertise and Thaler's precision, supported by the rest of the party's magical assistance, aims to overwhelm the stranger before they muster a defense. Caution and tactical acumen. They aim to secure information or potential cooperation from the stranger. Okay. Thank you for reminding me that Brinja can protect two others with aid. Can affect two others with aid. She will include the cleric and the ranger with her spell, and then we will attack. Feel free to roll initiative and determine the order of events. There we go. Of course, let's roll initiative. Okay, a surprise attack. Excellent. Thaler, Ranger, Fenwick, the Sorcerer. Ugh. No, that's good. The Sorcerer should go off early so that he can damage the enemy and hopefully not kill them with a cantrip. He'll do 2d8 of damage as a 5th level. Why are you saying Sorcerer? Wait, Fenwick is not a Sorcerer. Brinja, unknown figure, Aaron. Fenwick, wait. Hold on a second. Why are you saying that Fenwick is a sorcerer? Aaron the wizard will be last. Okay, but that's probably good because he won't kill the guy if he's already down. He won't cast. Thaler gains an extra attack, proceeds to quickly engage with the short sword. Fenwick casts mirror image and defenses. Okay. Bridget moves in with her warhammer, prepares to subdue her figures. Her attacks are measured to disable. Unknown figure. Caught off guard by the surprise attack, fears yet to act, giving the party significant advantage this round. Aaron's long range support. Raise Ray of Frost. Parties well coordinated surprise attack positions to quickly gain control of the situation. Should the initial assault succeed in subduing the figure, the party can interrogate or determine their next steps. If the resistance is met, continued efforts to incapacitate the figure will proceed with each member playing their designated role. Please submit the results or if there are any additional attacks you'd like to take. Okay, I'm a little confused. Fenwick is you told I'm a little confused. Uh I apologize for the oversight. Let's correct and proceed with the appropriate details. Okay, Trickster Cleric, yes. Thaler uses his Gloomstalker abilities to gain an extra attack, cast Mirror Image, advances with their Warhammer. Okay, resolution. Okay, I'm assuming we got Mirror Image cast and aid from a distance before moving in so as not to alert the stranger. Go ahead and roll the various attacks in the correct order and let me know the outcome for this round. All right. Let's resolve the attack sequence. Thaler's attack. Thaler uses his first round advantage from being a Gloomstalker to make 2 attacks with his short swords. Outcome: both attacks hit successfully as a benefit from the element of surprise. He deals significant non-lethal damage, focusing on incapacitation. Fenwick's action. Fenwick moves in after ensuring mirror images active, providing defense through illusion. He uses his spellcasting as necessary, but his primary action isn't an attack unless needed. Uh, um, he's not getting very specific. Does not get an action this round. Aaron halts off and casting the stranger is nearly subdued by the melee attacks. By the end of the first round, the combined attacks from Thaler and Bringer, along with Fenwick's supportive position, successfully subdue the stranger. Okay, so we dropped him to 0 hit points without killing him. The coordinated surprise, that's what that means. I'm not sure if the AI understands that, but I guess well, the coordinated surprise assault overwhelms the target before they can react or retaliate. They now have the opportunity to secure the individual, gather any belongings or clues, and decide on their next course of action, such as interrogation or investigation. All right. Okay. Okay. So I assume we dropped the stranger to 0 hit points without uh, killing him because we attacked to subdue. We will now restrain the stranger and apply um, first aid to ensure they are not dying from their injuries. Well, that's not really a thing. We will now restrain the stranger and prepare to do a short rest, assuming the stranger will awaken once. They also benefit from a short rest. The stranger will be restrained and therefore unable to cast any spells with a somatic component or material component. And therefore, I assume unable to cast any. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. By choosing to attack with the intention to subdue, the stranger is rendered unconscious without being killed. Okay, we restrain them. Uh, yes. Yes. And securing any spellcasting foci or items. Once again, he's giving us the benefit of the doubt that I didn't actually say that, but he's like giving me the benefit of the doubt that it would occur to me to remove any spellcasting. But this is the nicest DM, man. I think AIs are like they're trained to do what you want. So he's being really kind, but that's fine. Okay, so he's gonna say, yes, we took any spellcasting foci or items that might be for such purposes. If we set up a temporary camp, maintaining vigilance, taking a short rest. We recover and refresh abilities as needed. During the short rest, the stranger now at 0 hit points should regain consciousness as a result of natural recovery from resting. Okay, monitoring, guarding, we keep an eye. Yes. Inspection, yeah. Might choose to inspect. Yes. We will attempt to gather any info we can on the stranger based on his possessions and the immediate area. Okay. They carefully inspect his belongings in the surrounding area to gather any potential information, so that he wears a dark cloak and practical travel gear, suggesting they were accustomed to long journeys and stealth operations. Inside a pouch, they find a set of lockpicks. Okay, so he might be a rogue. A few coins, a small, intricately carved amulet. Seems to have some significance, possibly magical or symbolic. A finely balanced dagger. Uh, a map. Interesting. But so several locations, some known, some unknown. Interesting. Camp setup. Fire remnants. The campfire suggests Stranger was here as a rest stop, indicating a level of planning or waiting. Multiple sets. There are faint signs of other tracks, indicating possible companions or previous visitors. Freshness of these tracks suggests they have not been here long. Okay, scattered near the camp are small scraps of paper. Um, the stranger is likely involved in covert or secretive activities symbolized by tools like lockpicks and coded notes. Amulet and marked map could signify something of value or mission. With these findings, party has gathered significant clues about the stranger's potential identity or purpose. You might want to use these details or leverage or context when interrogating the stranger once they awake. Okay, considering the tracks are recent, we will assume there are allies nearby and remain alert. Meanwhile, the ranger will don. Wait, hold on. Does the ranger have a protective cloak, or is that? No, he doesn't. Okay, that's fine then. The ranger will don the stranger's cloak in hopes of, while the remaining party members remain concealed in hopes of not in hopes that the stranger's uh, allies will not be tipped off to our presence. They will hopefully they will uh, not be alerted and assume the ranger is their friend, as their ally, as their party member. There we go. Your plan to have Thalor don the stranger's cloak while the rest of the party remains concealed is a strategic move aimed at keeping the elements surprised, assuming the stranger's allies appear. Okay, Thalor in disguise mimics the stranger as closely as possible. This will buy their party crucial moments if another individual approaches. Takes position in hiding the rest of the party, so using natural cover and any available terrain features to remain out of sight while keeping watch. Assign lookouts, designate specific areas for each member to cover visually and orally. Again, giving me a lot of credit for things that I didn't say to do, but I like it. Okay, successful deception. If the stranger's allies arrive and are not immediately suspicious, Thaler's presence in disguise should allow the party to gather more information or set an ambush if tensions escalate. If the allies are suspicious, the party should be ready to act quickly. Thousands of disguise might still cause momentary hesitation. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. Might allow for brief interaction or conversation with the allies, possibly revealing more about their intentions or the stranger's mission. Ready weapons and spells. Yeah, await potential contacts. Um, okay, let me tell you. Okay, the plan is remain alert while we short rest. Remain as alert as possible during our short rest. You know what? The part is to remain alert. We don't really need a short rest yet, so we will simply be waiting for an hour, alert for um, possible allies of the stranger, while the stranger is able to recover consciousness. We will then interrogate him if his allies have not yet arrived by then. This is crazy. This thing is doing a pretty good job of being a dungeon master. I'm impressed. I'm impressed, actually. I have to kind of remind it to do certain things and stuff, but and it accidentally turned our cleric. Yeah, it turned our cleric into a sorcerer for a moment. That's sloppy, but anyway. Um, okay. Thal remains in the stranger's cloak. It remembers that. The rest of the party stays hidden, ready to spring into action. Noise and movement detection. Listen for disturbances. Yeah. Consciousness regained. After about an hour, the stranger begins to stir as they regain consciousness. They find themselves restrained, and the initial shock might give the party an advantage during the interrogation. Yes. Preparation for interrogation. Questions ready. Consider what priorities or crucial information the party seeks. Perhaps the nature of the stranger's mission, their identity, potential allies, or interests in the area. Strategic approach. Use a mix of intimidation and diplomacy based on the party's style and skills to elicit cooperation as much as possible. Once the stranger is fully conscious and aware of their situation, you can proceed with the interrogation. The party's goal will be to gain any useful information or leverage to make informed decisions about any threats or opportunities this encounter might present. Please let me know how you'd like to proceed with their interrogation. We will consult briefly as the hour approaches to determine which party member is best skilled for intimidation. Okay. Um, as a fighter, she has a commanding physical presence. Okay. Thalor, his knowledge of tracking skills. Aaron, typically focused on intimidation. He uses the threat of magic approach. Okay, I'm kind of looking for skills. I don't want to have to look at their skills. I just want the computer to remember. That's the cool thing about an AI. Like I don't expect a human DM to tell me which party member is the best for an intimidation skill, but a super intelligent AI that remembers every little detail should be able to tell me who. I assumed because you made all the characters and are keeping up with skills, spell slots, spell slots, equipment, etc., that you would know who is best skilled at intimidation. Okay. Apologize for any confusion. Based on typical roles and skills, here's an assessment who might be best. Uh, wait, what do you mean most likely to have proficiency? Does she have it? Let me look at this. It's saying, well, she does have intimidation. Okay, and her charisma is 16? Whoa! Oh, that's right, she's a paladin. Yes, yes, good call. Brynja, now that I'm checking her sheet, has a high charisma and proficiency in intimidation. She will be doing the interrogation. She as soon as the stranger awakens, she will confront him with a prominent display of her physical prowess. Sure. Okay, I can't type. Uh, I still can't type. Physical, asking him what he is doing here and where his companions are right now. Okay, yes. Okay, she steps forward with her commanding presence and charisma, setting the tone for interrogation. Display, positioning directly in front of him, displays her strength. She's a ripped, like, I'm assuming she's like a ripped diesel dyke. Now, is she a dyke? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't judge. She does what she wants to do in her free time. But she's strong. This bitch is strong. Brynja has an 18 strength and a 16 charisma. You do not want this diesel dyke appearing person to knock you around. You just don't. And then she demands begins a direct question, carrying authority and intent. What are you doing here? Where are your companions right now? She uses her natural charisma to create an atmosphere that demands truth. Well, this is very wordy. What happens? Okay, she can adjust her approach depending on his reaction. Okay, their robust opening aims to quickly extract essential information about his mission. Uh, well, I don't know how the stranger responds. You are to play any NPCs. Also, I assume you will generate a random number to determine the roll Brynja makes for her intimidation check and then determine how the NPC reacts. Let's roll for her intimidation check and see how he responds. 17, adding proficiency. Oh, she rolled well. This is a good one. Given the effect of intimidation, the stranger hesitates, gauging the situation and extensive disadvantage they are at. The presence of Bridget, as well as awareness of being surrounded by a capable party, weighs heavily on them. That makes sense. Reluctant compliance. He decides that resistance might be futile and reluctantly begins to speak. I was sent to scout this area and report back, eyeing Bridget with a mix of respect and wariness. Information on companions. My companions are a day's journey away, waiting for my return. I don't know if more will come this way soon, but they were counting on my report to decide our next move. Excellent. Okay. Um, Suggest a stranger belongs to a larger group with strategic interests in the area. Might want to consider how to handle this potential threat and decide whether to press for more details about the group's intentions or identity. Please let me know how the party wishes to proceed with further questions or actions. You know what? We got a combat. It was brief and concise. I think the AI, I don't know, maybe kind of decided we were an overwhelming force with surprise and we were going to overcome the one enemy and subdue them. And I don't know. I don't know if it did the math. I was kind of hoping to see, like, oh, it did calculate initiative. It did, it showed things happening. It didn't, I didn't see specifics. Like, did it roll
for the enemy to attack anyone? Could anyone have taken damage, for instance, before he got subdued? I don't know. It left it kind of vague, but it's doing what seems like us. It's more story focused. It's more story focused. It's not particularly concerned, it seems like right now, if maybe someone took some damage, had to use some resources to recover, or maybe take a short rest. Would we be interrupted before our short rest and that person still be down 7 hit points? Whatever. I don't know. I think it took a more story-based approach. I think unless I tell it to be very specific about these things, it's going to take a more story-based approach, which makes sense because it's a language model. It is a language model. I think it has the ability to keep up with all these things. It's a little bit sloppy now and then, like turning the cleric into a sorcerer for a moment. Um, I'm telling it keep up with these things, and I think it's sort of doing it. But we'll see. We'll see as it goes on. So far, it's doing pretty well. I'm kind of impressed, honestly. But I think we're at a good stopping point. We've seen, the adventure is unfolding. Something's up. There's a group of people who is doing something nefarious. We're going to figure out what it is. I'll continue the interrogation later. I'm keeping this thread just for this adventure right now, or possibly future adventures. Maybe this party will go on another adventure. If this plays out well, maybe we will. We'll see how it goes. But right now, I will say that I'm reasonably impressed, and I'm honestly having a good time. I'm honestly having a good time playing D&D again, where the DM is having to keep up with all the bullshit, and I can just ask the DM things. I would never do that to a DM. It's not. It's cruel. It's cruel. Like I had play. I've actually been a DM one time where I've had players ask me what they did or what have they done this or have they done that, and I'm like, I'm keeping up with the entire adventure, and you're not keeping up with just your character. Like that's not acceptable. But in this case, we have a super intelligent computer that is capable of keeping up with all this stuff effortlessly. I mean, there's no, I don't even know if the word effort makes any sense. It's just
A program that's running. I feel fine making it keep up with everything and calculate everything, roll everything if there's a random roll that needs to be done. It's fine. It's fine, and I'm loving this. I'm kind of loving this. So now I'm curious. I'm very curious. Anyone who's watching this, maybe you're watching it. Maybe you're not watching live, and my 2.5 viewers, live viewers, maybe you're watching it later. I'm curious if this adventure looks familiar. Did the AI pull something and maybe just modify it a little bit? I don't know. I'm not familiar with this adventure. It doesn't look familiar to me. Maybe they're just elements that it's pulling from different adventures that are familiar that you might know of. If you know of them, put them in the comments. I'm very curious about that. How is it doing this? It's a this is ultimately a language model that's predicting what's the next thing to say. I guess it's capable of keeping up with certain details like spell slots and what spells are prepared and things like that. I'm not sure how well it's doing that. We'll see soon. Um, like I might catch it. Like, hey, hold on, I cast aid. How many slots do I have left? Things like that. Are you keeping up? I'm not keeping up with it. I'm not even sure, honestly. It didn't go into much detail. Like, it doesn't show, for instance, my spell slots, and I don't want to even have to look that up. I kind of have a rough idea what a fifth level character has in terms of spell slots, but I'm not super confident. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Um, I hope that you're intrigued as I am and want to see what this thing does next. And we'll stream again soon. I'm honestly kind of on the edge of my seat a little bit. I want to know what's happening. I'm not even sure if the AI knows what's happening. I think it's making this up as it goes along. I told it to come up with an adventure ahead of time, but I'm not sure it did that. I think it's kind of making this up as it goes along. We'll see. Um, but I am intrigued. I'm curious what happens next. I'm curious how well it's keeping up with previous events. How well is it keeping up with spell slots? How well is it keeping up with hit points? I might need to specify that it needs to keep up with all these things. I thought I did that, but I may have not done it well enough. We'll see. So hopefully you're subscribed now. Hopefully you are on the edge of your seat as well to see what happens next, and we'll carry on the next stream. All right. Thank you everyone. Hope you had a great Friday night.